Good evening, hello, and welcome to TLT Tuesday with the Purple Rain boys. Aaron, my friend, how you going, mate?
Very good, mate. Just got home from basketball, had a game, and come in and try and get this done. Ready for a big week, a big grand final rematch, huge game. Let's go.
Let's not talk about the grand final rematch, to be honest, but I don't like labelling things. I'm not stuck in the past. Let's not do that. But this is episode 2. We're doing a preview today, talking all things Brisbane Broncos versus Melbourne Storm. We play Friday night, 8 o'clock. Let's put it this way. I live in Brisbane, Aaron, so all these posts that we've put up say 7 o'clock, would say 7 o'clock, but no, it's actually 8 o'clock for you guys down there, and that's what's more important.
8 o'clock, yes, which is a strange one because I promised my son, who's only 6, that he can come to every game with me this year. So that means he'll be having a late night. So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so... And they never sleep in either. So they have a late night, but they don't actually sleep in the next day. They're up and about. Body clock is ready and firing to go. All right, so, mate, we have absolutely flown. So this page has been open now for 8 days. 8 days. I think we opened it. We have just officially, as of the last 5 minutes, clicked over 300 followers on Facebook, Aaron. As I was logging into here, we were 298. We're now at 301. I am super appreciative, and I know you'll say something after this, but I'm so appreciative. I'm overwhelmed. I'm caught in a bit of a hard place of, I didn't think we'd grow this quick and get to the level that we are in within a week, and to have 300 people is just incredible. I am super proud of the work that you're doing, Aaron. I'm super proud of the work behind the scenes that Jess, my wife's, doing with some of the content. I'm super proud of just our family and our community and what's happening already, and it's only going to get bigger and better, mate.
Look, it really feels like people are getting behind our vision, and our vision is to get this whole purple community going, that all want to be on the same wave. We all just want to talk footy, and it really feels like a good start. So, very happy about it, and very appreciative that we've started. I wouldn't have done this without you guys, and your wife as well, man. She's dominating behind the scenes. So well done, Jess.
Mate, it certainly saves a hell of a lot of time having someone sit there doing all the fiddly alignments of all the different posts and things, because I don't have the patience for that, man.
Sometimes you do need a woman, eh?
Oh, man, behind every great man is an even better woman.
Absolutely. Same here.
Absolutely, mate. That missus of yours is amazing as well. Not only are we at 300 followers, we're just sitting over 40 followers on Instagram. So that's growing. That's grown over the last few days. It certainly helped with the jersey post that we've got, with the little giveaway that we're doing in the next few weeks. Aaron, do you want to sort of just give that a little plug, mate?
All right, let's give it a little plug. There's the jersey. It's there. It's up for grabs for anyone. You just need to head over to Facebook. Yeah, it's real. It's there. Just head over to Facebook, and the post is there, and all the instructions are there. And whoever follows the rules, basically, there's a few little things you have to do. But if you follow the rules and put yourself in a draw, that might be a draw for 200, 300 people. It's not. Will be the easiest one you can win with us, basically, is what I'm saying, because we're growing from here.
We're growing. And there are more giveaways, mates. If we want to give a little shout out to City Sports.
We just had, We've had a good chat with Josh at City Sports this week, who's spoken to his boss, Beck, and she's come on board and said that she's prepared to put up 5 or 6 jerseys for the year, that we can do giveaways and really give back to the community. So get around the first one, and you might win, you might not, but the best thing is that we all engage and we all talk Storm, and there's opportunities to get something out of it. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So just really quickly, you've got to tag a mate in the comments of the post on Facebook. You have to follow both the Purple Rain on Facebook and subscribe and follow on Instagram. You have to follow City Sports. So we're going to go through there and monotonously check through every single person to make sure that they are following City Sports as well. And then just subscribe to us on your listening platform. So if that's YouTube, subscribe. If it's Spotify, subscribe. If it's Apple, because you're a weirdo with it that uses Apple products. I'm an Android. Let's get into that battle. But if you subscribe with Apple as well. If you subscribe through all three, you'll get 3 extra entries. And then the most fun part, Aaron, which is something I know you're very keen to talk about, is your story. So if you get into the comments and type your favourite story about the Melbourne Storm or something that you've done, there's some pretty good ones. There's 42 comments in there at the moment around some cool stories.
I've read some good ones already. It's awesome.
Yeah. So there's some really cool stories. So Aaron, I think it's time we actually told them about some of why we might follow the Storm, or what happened, or one of our favourite stories, mate.
All right. Well, my favourite Storm story goes with that jersey right there. That was the 356 jersey, and that in September 2017, Cameron broke the record, and obviously everyone was up and about. Everyone cracked it because they gave Barb a ring, and it was crazy. But the Storm won the premiership. I flew back and I went to the presentation, and I took that 356 jersey to the Storm Player of the Year, and I said to my wife, I'm going to get Cameron to sign that tonight for sure. And the night went on, and there wasn't really an opportunity. And I hate pushing in. I hate being that person. So I just try to just bide my time and whatever. And then I went to the toilet, and I stood at the urinal, and I was standing there, and I was just about to have a wee, and Cameron Smith stood next to me. I looked next to him. I'm like, oh, fuck. Here is my chance. I said, I know this is awkward, brother, but I brought my 356 jersey tonight, and I want you to sign it so bad. And he said to me, I'm on table 9, come over. And I was like, yeah, cool, I will, but I don't want to intrude. And he's like, no, it's all good, brother, come over. So I waited, and Cameron actually won the Player of the Year that year. He got his trophy, and he went upstage to get his trophy, and he come back down, and I put the 356 jersey over my suit, and I wore it, and he saw me as he was walking off the stage, and he pointed at me, and he said, come over here. And I walked over, and me and my wife just had a one-on-one chat with Cam and Barb, and I got a photo with the Player of the Year trophy, and he signed my 356 jersey, and for me, that's the best moment. I mean, he signed a few jerseys for me, but that one specifically was awesome. My wife loved it. We loved it. We sat there and we had a good chat for 10 minutes after he won his medal. So that was unreal.
Oh, how does anyone top that up? Seriously,
we'll post the photo of me with the Player of the Year trophy with Cam Smith. I've got one. It's a little bit blurry because it was dark and the room was, all illuminated purple. But I mean, I've got the photo. It's something I'll never forget.
Yeah. What a cool story, man. And I know you're a massive Smithy fan, so
my wife calls him my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend, yeah.
My boyfriend.
Yeah. Your free pass.
Okay.
Mate, what a great story. That's really cool. Mine. I don't have a cool story. I don't have a cool story like that. Mine's a really probably a big one. Not a big one, but as in like across. I don't have one defining moment that I've got. Like I remember going on one of my first dates with my wife to a prelim final and to watch the Storm. And we lost to the Cowboys. I remember that. I remember doing those and they're all memories I'll never forget. I remember one of my favorite memories is taking both my daughters to 3 years ago to the Titans Storm game, and really early in the season. And that was fun as well. But look, if I'm going to define anything as like something I want to talk about, it's the 2012 Premiership year. More so because it's pretty much defined as a bit of a redemption story, isn't it? So it's a couple of years before that, all the cheating scandal happened and all of that sort of stuff, and then not too far after we win a premiership, and so that's probably my favourite, like as a whole memory. I don't have one defining one. I've just got some really great ones, but that are particularly around my girls.
Yeah, no, that 2012 year was pretty special. After losing all those players and then filling that squad with, a few journeymen, a few that just filled the roster basically, and then to go back out. Even 2011, we played good footy, but to win it in 2012 after all that, crazy.
Yeah, it was, and I guess that's probably definingly why that's one of my favourites. And I will admit, and I got in the comments today that Billy Slater's my favourite player. So I've always just absolutely adored the way he goes about things. I love how we push the boundaries. I love how we pushed all those nets, and yeah. So I just thought I'd throw that out there as well. But mate, let's get into TLT. Hey, this is what we're here for. This is what people are after. So I'm just going to go through the team list. So the ins for the Storm are Alec McDonald, Preston Conn, Trent Liero, Trent Lolea. And I'll just go one to the end. So at fullback we've got Sewer. Then on the wings we've got Warbrick and Meaney. In the centres Howarth and Leo. In the halves, the greatest half pairing in the competition, Munster and Hughes. And in the prop we've got Stefano and Josh King, with Harry Grant in between them. At hooker we've got our edges. We've got in the 11 Joe Chan. In the 12 we've got Lasati, and then coming in at lock is Tui Kamakamika at the 13. On the bench we've got Tyron Wishart. Liero returns from his suspension. Davey Moali, Cooper Clark, and Alec McDonald rounds out the 18. And Sualangi Tua Malata Brown rounds out the 19. And then in the resis, we've got Jack Hetherington, Preston Conn, and Trent. For the Broncos, there's a lot happening on that side, and we'll just quickly go through it. So the ins are Blake Moser, Brendan Piakura, Jesse Arthurs, Duffy. Out goes Gushevsky. And then at fullback, we've got Reece Walsh. On the wings, it's Karapani and I don't want to say this guy, but I'm going to. Grant Anderson, unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. Katoni Staggs and Mariner in the centres. In the halves, it's Ezra Mam, and Reynolds is named still, but he's actually just been a late out. With Ben Hunt going into the 7 and Moser moving into the 14. At prop, it's Corey Jensen and Haas. At hooker, Corey Pakes. And then their edges is Willison in the 11, Ricky in the 12, and Carrigan at lock. With the bench, Ben Hunt, which is obviously, as we just mentioned and moved around, Tolti, Toha, Shibasaki, Piakura, and Jaden Hunt. And then their reserves are, well, at the moment is Moser, Arthurs, and Duffy, but Moser, as we said, has just moved around. That's the first time I've ever done a team list like that, mate. I thought I did a pretty good job. What do you think? What do you think about the Storm list at the moment, and the team we've put on the park?
Look, I think pretty much 1 to 17 we're very, very similar to last week as we're named. I mean, the only difference there would be, well, I think that Trent will get named at 13, and I think Tui will go back to the bench. I know they've named it that way, but what Trent adds in the middle and what the work that he gets through could be invaluable in the first stanza, like up against some would say the premier pack in the competition, but maybe Raiders. But I think getting Trent in there to the 13 and really trying to control that ruck and slow them down and stop them playing downfield might be important. So I'd assume that Trent comes into the 13 and Tui goes back to the bench. That's my guess there.
I think this is probably our strongest list we've been able to name so far in the first 3 games. I love that Liero is back. Just remember that Liero's returned from suspension, not an injury. So he's had most of the preseason. He's been training. He played in the preseason games. So he's not. It does. I don't feel like there's a few comments that have gone through that they think that Trent should have gone through the cup.
Can I jump in there?
Yeah.
That's because they're That's because they're Trent haters. They're out there. Like, let's be honest. I've run that. We've been on that Storm family page for years. The Trent haters are out there everywhere. But let's be honest. He is our now best 13 every single day of the week. So put him in there. He's ready to go. Like, he is fit. He's ready to go.
Yeah, and I get why they're haters. I mean, he's ill discipline and things like that, but he is by far. I mean, he's an Origin caliber lock. I mean, he's sitting in the team for Queensland. You know, like he's been in that squad and around that, so he's got talent. He can play. It's just his discipline and some poor decisions that cost him. But I agree with you 100%. He is by far our best lock that we can have. And
So
when you have.
if we put Tui in there, I mean, Tui's going to do a good job. He's going to
Yes.
defend in the middle, and
Yep.
and that's fine. But he's not that middle link man. He doesn't have the ball playing that Trent has. The ability to shift the ball quick across the park changes. He can do a job, and he can definitely slow down the ruck and work hard. But Trent can do that, and he can be that link man between the left and the right. So. Unfortunately for me, it's a no-brainer. You put Trent back in there, and Tui goes back to the bench, and it is what it is.
And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Tui off the bench is great, especially against this pack. What's the best way to beat this pack? It's to get the ball up the field and keep pressure on them. That's the best way to do it, because it's unfortunately Payne Haas is probably the most dominant player in the competition, and Pat Garrigan isn't a bat and is no spud. Like he's a gun too. So like the best way to beat them is to keep them on their back foot. Having Liero at 13 will help that. And I like the fact that Tui can come off the bench when Haas and Carrigan go off, and then we can get that big boy push to continue on with that with him on the ground in that sort of rest period, which I really like. And I think that's where Tui is in his career now, is that he's that 30, 40 minute really, really hard push in the middle of the game when the starters are off.
We spoke about in the game review that we lost a little bit of like leadership in the middle when Steph and when Tui went off and Josh King, and then when we made that change and we mixed it all up, we lost a little bit of leadership in the middle. So
Yep.
so maybe Tui can come back in and he might not have the impact, or he might not be able to bend the line like these blokes. He can have that leadership and try and keep that middle strong, you know. So maybe it's a good thing.
Yep. I'm going to just call it how it is. How do you feel with Reynolds now a late out and the Reece Walsh factor of what happened last year? Do you have any fears?
Look, I've heard a few today. Like, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, that's when Reece Walsh caught fire last year. When Ren went out, Reece Walsh caught fire." Let's be honest. Ren is a premier player in the competition. He is a gun halfback. He's a dual premiership winner. He is a superstar. It's better for us if he's not there, regardless of what it does to their lineup. If he's not there, it definitely helps us. Now, that's not me saying I don't want him to play. That's not me saying I'd prefer to play a weaker side. That's me saying they've lost one of their stars. So for me, it's a win for us that he's not there.
Oh, yeah, so like I get what you're saying, but I really just the thing I like about Reynolds and what happens is the ball goes through his hands because he's the halfback. Now, when he's not in there and Ben Hunt has to come through, Ben Hunt's not going to be a bit of a ball hog. Ben Hunt's not going to play that. He's not at that point in his career anymore. So it now becomes Reece Walsh. So we just and his show. It is very concerning because, you know, recency bias says this is what happens when that half partner is what happened. And Reece Walsh showed even last week, even just with a little bit of magic, like that left foot kick that he did over the top that he turned into a try, like that was just magical. Like that's just, he made that look really easy, and I can guarantee you that's actually really hard. And that's the sort of thing that I'm a bit worried about. So I'm keen to know how we're going to defend that and what we do, and that might come a bit further into our purple blueprint that'll come out in the next day or so. But I guess the other thing that there's matchups galore in this game on Friday. You've got the Packs against the Packs. You've got Reece Walsh versus the Reece Walsh apprentice, as they're starting to call it, as Harry Grant even mentioned in his little piece today, my quickly becoming new favourite player, Mr. Sewer Farlongo.
So, yeah, with Sewer, I've said for years that Reece Walsh, he's not. I don't find him that fast. What I find him is his turn of speed is incredible.
Yes.
And when he changes and he accelerates, he gets half a metre outside his opponent like that. And Sewer has the exact same thing. And we've never, like Paps was fast. He was fast, but he wasn't, his acceleration wasn't like Sewer.
No.
We now we've got that. We can stand and bang. We can throw and we can try and score on the edges, and we have been. We've scored 96 or 98 points in 2 weeks.
98. Yep.
98. Sorry, but now that we've got someone that we can run that sweeping line around the back, we can try and match fire with fire. But what's important is to understand they're going to do the same thing back, and
Yes.
defense is definitely going to be king in this game for both sides.
For both teams, definitely. How do you feel seeing Grant Anderson on the other side? And do you think he starts on the wing?
I 100%. I think they've named him on the wing. I think they'll move him to centre. I think that Mariner will play on the wing. I think that Grant will come into the centre. They'll try and shore up that edge. Last week they got absolutely pumped. Man, Gosecki and Shibazaki. Kamatualagi got him on the inside. He got him on the outside. Iongi got him on the outside. They were shocking. So I think Grant might come into centre, and I think they might try and use his understanding of the Storm structures to maybe try and shore up that edge. But that means it's a new combination that's never played there. The game's in your hands then.
I understand the why around Shibasaki being put to the bench. I mean, he's put to the 17. I'm not sure. I feel like I doubt if he plays. I just wouldn't be putting a centre in my interchange bench. To be fair, I just don't think that's a very good use of your interchange.
Their extended squad, they've got Jaden Hunt there now. Are they going to put him in? Like, they've just named Hunt at 7. They've taken Reynolds out, so Jaden Hunt, you can pretty much scratch him. He's not going to play, so we already know that. Jesse Arthur's been named on the wing. I mean, they could make a change there potentially, but I mean, you've got Karapani and you've named Ando there, but you're probably going to switch those two. Ando's going to go to centre, Mariner's going to go to the wing, so you've probably ruled out Jesse Arthur's getting the game this week as well. And the only one else that they've got there is Thomas Duffy, and
he's a halfback.
Is he? I don't know.
He's very well rated halfback who's dominated Q Cup for the last few years. But it's just weird. It's a weird benching to have Shibasaki there because I just don't see your centers are 80-minute players, so you're not putting you're not resting one of your centers to bring Shibasaki in. He's not big enough to go through your forward, so he might maybe go through the 13, which I still don't see, but I can't see him playing. But which, to me, if we're going to catch these edges for Brisbane, it's this week. I think we've got a miles better team on the edges in terms of the Warbrick, Howarth, Moses, Leo, and Meany against Karapani, Staggs, Marin, and Anderson. And I think we've got a really, really good, strong advantage on either edge.
I think you got to look at that Moses Leo and Katoni Staggs battle, and you probably think that for the Storm that's probably the biggest concern of the game. I mean, obviously the middle and Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan are your main weapons, but let's think about where they're going to score. Staggs he's an absolute beast.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I think the Storm played Jack on the left for all year just because Jack's strong and his body could handle these powerful right side wingers in the competition. There were so many of them. And this year we've moved Jack to the right. And I think the reason we've done that is because we've got Moses Leo, who might not be the biggest man, but he's got that Maori strength in him. He's a weapon. So he can handle his own, and the Stags will go at him, and it will be a battle. But if we can control that edge and keep Stags quiet, I think that goes a long way to slowing them down.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. And I think one other thing to add with Moses Leo is speed is power, and he's got speed right from the first step. So he's got that power through his speed. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Moses Leo. Another matchup that we've got to talk about is the halves. You've got Ezra Mam and now Ben Hunt versus versus Munster and Hughes. What are you thinking there?
I think on paper we've got the better halves pairing, but I mean, look back at the last time those two linked up and they caused this massive drama. So it's one of those ones where the Storm will be filthy about the way it went down last time, and they'll be trying to make amends. And I think that Ezra and Ben Hunt will get some confidence in the fact that last time those two connected in a game against the Storm, they were really, really good. So I think it's going to be a good battle, basically.
I think it does. Like the Ezra Mam Ben Hunt thing is a partnership is underrated. Ezra Mam's very good, and people don't like Ezra Mam because of the stories of what he's done. But ignoring that, because that's what we have to do, he's a very good player, and he's just starting to get into his own. And if he gets any free space, just like Reece Walsh, goodbye. And so we've got to. So this is the key: is being able to. How do we curb that Ezra Mam arrogance and speed that he's got, that he's starting to build his confidence for, around the old head of Ben Hunt as he leads that team around. But I mean, 2 years ago, Jerome Hughes won a Daly M, and Munster's the best 5'8" in the competition. But yeah, that's an underrated battle between those two pairs.
I don't want to use the words rocks and diamonds because all week, Bloke in a Bar and Guru and all the big wigs, they've called out rocks and diamonds and said that the fans think that, Reece Walsh's rocks and diamonds or Ezra's rocks and diamonds. But like, if you look at Ezra's last, there's a stat here. In his last 14 games, Ezra's missed 55 tackles. So are you telling me in 14 games, if you miss 55 tackles, that's okay? Okay, you've got a good offensive weapon in your hands, but there's two sides of every game. So if Storm don't target Ezra, I'll be shocked.
Joe Chan's going to have a field day.
Yeah, he's going to give him the Jonah Pizzette treatment.
Yep. As they should, as we called for last week against Atkinson and Flanagan. So the last thing I want to talk about is the same style as what we said in our purple blueprint for round 2. I think is really important this week, and we have to build around getting Harry Grant downhill and getting him fast, quick play of the ball straight off that play of the ball, the one-handed scoops, and off he goes. Because if he can do that, we're really pushing for the Broncos to be playing off their back foot. And when the Broncos play off their back foot, they are prone to penalties. They're prone to slowing things down. They're prone to mistakes. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, well, definitely. When they've played on their back foot for the first 2 weeks of this year, they've made poor errors and poor decisions. So the thing that's in our favour this week is we get Trent back and we get Alec. Like, Alec has been named I think 18. He's been named somewhere 18. He will play. I listened to Frank Panisi today in the injury report. He said he's been fine ever since. We're giving him every chance, but he will play Friday night. So there's two options there. What happens? I would think there's either Mawali or
Clark.
Out.
Yep.
Personally, if Clark is the future, Mawali's leaving, I would play Clark. He's done nothing wrong. Like, I don't think he has done anything wrong to deserve to be dropped. And I think that we need to show Clark that we've got his back. We want him to be the next man that stands up next year. So if it's for me, I'm keeping Clark there. I'm putting Alec in there, and our bench ends up being Tui, Clark.
Sorry, you just cut out there, and I missed that last sentence.
So I said the bench, I think, will be Wishy, Tui, and Alec. And I think all of them have great leg speed. And that leg speed and winning contact and getting to your feet and playing the ball is what gets Harry playing downfield. So Broncos are a fit side. We just need to get in the grind and try and win contact, which is going to be very hard. They've got a strong middle. But if we can win contact and get Harry playing downfield, I think we can get it done, but it will be a tough game.
This is going to be a tough game. One team's going to be 3-0, or one team's going to or one team's going to either be 3-0 or 0-3. Be interesting to see which way that's going to be. This is going to be a cracking game, mate. I hope everyone is locking away their Friday night afternoons. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the game?
With the game, I don't think I had too much more there. I did write down notes about Jordan Ricky last week. I know that edge didn't get targeted as much as the Sheila Gazeski and Mam edge, but Jordan Ricky, in the end of that game, he made some horrible decisions. So is there a chance that we split out? Like, we don't necessarily need to head one way. We can mix that up, and we can have a go at him as well, because in 2024, I thought he was all hype. I don't actually. I think he's got potential, and I do think there's a good player there. But I just think he's so inconsistent. And in 25, he was awesome. He was a weapon, and Broncos relied on him to play good footy. But I just think that the start of this year, he's fallen back into his old ways, and maybe he might be a target as well.
I would target him because he's got fire in his head. And when something doesn't go his way, he's very much so prone to giving a silly high shot or some sort of penalty or something like that. Or he's also prone to not putting in an effort play. And those effort plays is what Chan, Lasardi, Grant, Hughes are going to, and Munster are going to be looking at. And I would be targeting him because defensively, I think that's probably so far what I've seen this year is his big downfall. I agree with you. I rate Jordan Ricky a lot. I do.
Go back and look at the second last try last week. Parramatta needed to score to get back in front, and you watch the effort that Ricky put in then. Like, the game was on the line. That was like a make or break play, and you watch him. He stands on his heels. He wasn't there. He wasn't focused. He wasn't present. And I think if you catch him napping, and you get under his skin, as you said, you might break him.
Yeah, and actually, it's not even a might. You can, and you will, because that's that's his reputation he's got. I think we're pretty right. I'm gonna put this on to you in terms of something that I didn't give you as in the agenda. Mm-hmm. What I want you to do is give me a player of the game.
Player of the game. If it's my choice and who I want to be the player of the game for us, if be the player of the game, I think we win the game. I don't think Pakes is there in his career to be able to slow him down. And I think if Harry gets on top of Brisbane, I really think that we can roll and we can put lots of points on. So I hope it's Harry.
I predict Harry. And put the same thing. I think he gets the chocolates for player of the game. And I agree with you. The matchup against Corey Pakes, but also I just think he's got some wicked speed against this pack. Like, this pack is fast and agile, and you could see in that first game against Para why we were so good. Is because of his quick play of the ball, the quick scoops, off he runs, gets that 10, 15 metres just literally at the click of her fingers, and it makes them put you back on the front foot. You're not just doing 10-metre sprints now when Harry's doing that. You're doing 20 and 30-metre sprints, and that's huge. And if we can get these guys off the field quick, it'll be because of Harry Grant's quick play of the ball, quick downhill. For me, the Storm are going to rely on Harry this year a lot, and particularly early. And I think he needs to be player of the game for us to win this game.
Say Harry doesn't get downfield and he runs for 50 metres and he doesn't get over the advantage line. I think that after that, I really think Jerome needs to control the tempo. Sometimes Munster's a bit erratic, and if he tries to, like we've seen it last week, he took a kick, he kicked a 7-tackle set. Every time Jerome got the ball, he put it deep, 5 metres off the line, and really put us in a good position. So if we can't get Harry over the line and we can't win that forward battle, which is a big chance, let's be honest, I don't want to say a better pack, but like Like, let's be honest, on paper, they're a better pack than us. I think
They're a
most
better
of the,
pack than pretty much 99% of the competition.
correct. Most, like, that's not me bagging my club at all. That's me saying, like, I'm honest. On paper, their middle is incredible, you know. And the difference is Harry, obviously, which puts us into a whole new echelon. But then, other than that, we've got Jerome, who can run, and he can run very well. So if he starts running and he gets our forwards moving that way, that's great.
One other thing that I want to talk about is discipline, Aaron. So discipline against these Broncos is going to have to be really, really high on the on the Bellamy chalkboard. If we are allowing 6 again, this is when Reece Walsh is on fire and can really push those lines. That's where Ezra Mam is pushing those lines as well. That allows the power of your Haas and Carrigans and Willison, who's named to start, to really push the line. But it's discipline not just in terms of defensively. It's discipline in our kick game, which is a segue off. Well, not a segue, but a bit of a point off what you were just saying before about the Munster 7 tackle set kick that he did in Hughes. We have to kick. My suggestion is, and I'm not an NRL coach, but my suggestion is to attempt to try and get the ball out of Reece Walsh's hands as much as possible. And so if we can kick wide and to Karapani to Mariner for those runs off kicks and get it as deep as we can, I think that's a really important strategy we're going to have to follow.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Keep it out of Reece Walsh's hands. Don't give him early ball. Don't give him a chance to think. And
chaos.
You know,
we don't want him having chaos.
I do think that they'll swap Willison. I don't think he'll start on an edge. I think they'll put Piakura there, and I think they'll put Willison back to the bench. That's just my gut feel. That's what I would do, but you never know.
Yeah, and then the added benefit is that we're at home on a Friday night.
Let's go! Can't wait.
And that makes a massive difference for it, doesn't it?
It definitely does. And look, I heard Frank say on the injury report today that the tickets are almost sold out. I mean, they always do say that, no matter how many they're there. There's
always a few seats spare.
They do try and pump it up. But, you know, Friday night, 8 o'clock, grand final rematch. I genuinely feel like this will be a 25,000, 26,000 crowd game. I think the atmosphere will be awesome. And hopefully we can go 3-0 and keep on marching towards September. And
there's no excuse, mate. There's no AFL at the MCG. It's that precinct is all Storm. So hopefully it's filled up with all the with all purple. Last thing I'd like to sort of end the show on is Grant's comments on Sewer today. Did you see that article?
Yeah, no, definitely. I had a read of that.
So I found it really interesting, and I guess why do you think he's come out and said something like this now? Is it because the hype has become really real, and he's trying to curb his young fella behind him just to try and ease him, or is he trying to release some expectation off the community? Why do you think that comment comes out?
I think I kind of alluded to it at the start of the podcast, and what I said was that Reece Walsh now thinks that he has to do that for the team for them to win, and he, in his head, like I'm not saying he's gone to his head. What I'm saying is, he thinks he needs to perform at a 10 out of 10 for them to win. When that's just not the case. If Reece Walsh plays 8 out of 10 every week, they're a good side. And if Sewer, reads the media, listens to the talk, and it goes to his head, does he start thinking he's in front of where he actually is? As Harry said, he's only played 2 full games of NRL at fullback.
At 80 minutes, yeah.
80 minutes, that's it. Two games. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's had a few good games, yes, that's great. But where Sewer needs to be is grounded, and he's only young. So if the Storm can let Sewer be Sewer, and we can develop him in a way that suits the team, could be the long-term fullback, and he's got that opportunity. But if he gets ahead of himself and he loses his head, he won't be. So that's why I think Harry just there and said, just we're going to let him be him, but we know that he's a young kid in a tough environment. So I think that's got a lot to do with it. It's good. It's a good captain. Just keeping him in check, making sure he doesn't read too much media.
I love it. It just goes to show just how far beyond Harry Grant's leadership skills are by his years. To be able to do that and to do it through the media subtly like that, I think is fantastic. Because when Harry speaks, we listen, right? That's what everyone does. And when Harry laughs,
okay,
yep,
sorry.
Go. No, go.
Also, 2021, 2022, everyone questioned the leadership vacuum because Cameron had left, Billy had left, Cooper had left. It felt like we didn't have strong leaders. And then we went through a few different leaders at that stage, Jesse, Welshie, and then went to Harry. And it looked like they were all trying to find their way, but no one had a voice, or no one really had that aura about them that could be a Storm captain. It really feels now, after 2 grand final losses, that Harry has stepped up to that mantle. He now is the leader of that club, and he is demanding that the club goes forward. Like it's really good to see.
Yeah, I agree, and I love that he's done that just to keep these young fella in check, keep him in tow, keep him humble. That's the key, and I think Harry's done a really good job. I really love that he's put that out there, and I love that article, and I just love that from my captain. I really do. It just shows me so much more respect for this fella that he doesn't actually need, because he's a freak, and we love him.
And then you go on the flip side of that, and we shared a story on the Purple Rain story this week, and it was the Guru talking about Harry's decision at the end of the game against the Dragons to listen to Sua's overcall, and he turned around, he went left, and then he heard Sua's call, and he flicked it back to Sua on the right because Sua had the hot hand. And for Harry to trust Sua in that situation it's a big call. Like the guy's played 2 games at fullback. Like, he's on fire, but do you let him call the shots? And like, definitely, this is a team, and if you're part of the team, you wouldn't call the ball if you don't think you can make something happen. And Sua called it, and Harry gave it to him. And look what happened. He scored 3 tries in, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or something like that. But just goes to show that these guys they're all committed to being a strong 17 or a strong 30 even. Like, we're in this together.
And we have to be. Our depth is incredibly important for us this year, and you're right. You're only as good as that age-old cliche saying, you're only as good as your weakest link, right? Or your last player on your list. And that culture set that we've got is super important, and I love that. That's it, Aaron. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or bring up with the game?
No, I'm good. I think we've covered it pretty well, or I feel like we've covered it very well. I'd love to hear some other opinions from other people in the comments and see if we missed anything, or see if you think we got it wrong. Like, it's a big game.
We're not experts. We're just game enough we're just game enough to put our ugly faces. Well, actually, so I'll speak for myself. I'm game enough to put my ugly face. Unlike yours, Aaron, you're a ridiculously good-looking mate. But we're just game enough to put ourselves on a screen and talk about it and pass our opinions. We never ever profess to say that we're right. We will argue with you, but we'll put a few things down and we'll say why we're arguing. But yeah, I agree with you, Aaron, mate. I would love to hear some people's opinions. What's their blueprint? What do we think's going to happen this weekend for Friday for us to get the win? Which I'll leave it on. Make sure you get in there, like, subscribe, follow everything that you can for us. Get onto that jersey giveaway. Don't forget to do that. Add your stories in. I promise you, I will spend with Aaron. I'll ring him on the video call and we'll spend hours trying to sift through all the data to get it. We'll make sure everyone has the correct amount of entries. Get on there and do that. Every little bit helps, and it's just a free way for you guys to support us and help us. Every like, every comment is really important. We will endeavour to try and get to every one of them. I am learning how to figure out how to change my name on YouTube so I can get into some of those comments, because I can't believe that we're just under 200 off our first view off YouTube, which is just mind-blowing, man. So please, if you can get in there, it's a free way to support us. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, share it, do everything you can for us in terms of that we would be very appreciative. Good luck to the Storm. Thank you, Purple Rain listeners. We will see you for our review show sometime over the weekend. Stay tuned for that. Have a good afternoon. Have a good night.
Thank you, brother.